who come from this era, they will tell you that Studio 17, that is Jose, Wiz Kid, City V, John Boy, Dame Dot. It's two Dame Dots. Dame Dot the rapper and Dame Dot the producer. Dame Dot the rapper is also a producer as well. Hell of a Ant Beats, of course. It's a bunch of motherfuckers who are responsible for the success that you are hearing right now. It's a bunch of motherfuckers who factored into creating what we now call the Detroit sound that has swept the country. But just like you said, from the John Boys, the Wiz Kids, City V's, the Hell of Us, the Ant Beats, the Dame Dots, a bunch of legendary motherfuckers right now, man. Detroit got a lot of producers who made a lot of hit records, bro, who still haven't got the recognition that they deserved.
Man, how did you get started DJing? And tell us about Planet Rock DJs.
Shit, bro. When I came home from prison in 2009, I jumped into the rap game. But then I realized early on that I was like I came home, I was in there 40 years old. When I came home, I was like, man, I'm too old to be rapping these young guys. I'm rapping about gators and minks, and these niggas rapping about skinny jeans and shit that I'm not rapping about, right? So I immediately, I jumped behind the scenes and I got into artist management, development. I specialize in marketing, advertising, promotion, artist management. I jumped into the game first as into the marketing, advertising, management, promotional side of the game. After I stopped rapping, I still rap from here and there. I drop a song here. I just dropped a song a couple of weeks ago called "The Pimp C Style," produced by Hell of a, ironically enough. But I got into the business just looking for a way to make some money. I come from a hustler's background, so I realized that I was trying to get to the money, bro. And I mentored behind Carol Dorsey. Carol Dorsey is BG's aunt from New Orleans. BG's mom, Miss Cent, her sister name is Carol. Carol moved to Detroit 25, 30 years ago. So when BG got pushed out of Cash Money, and he came to Detroit, Choppa City Records, a lot of people don't even know this. Choppa City Records was formed in Detroit, not New Orleans, not Louisiana. Most niggas don't know that. But they just took the best of what BG was and just formed Choppa City Records. Choppa City Records was formed in Detroit. And shout out to Carol Dorsey, shout out to Big Red Garrett, Wide Open Entertainment, Wide Open Management. They're the ones who put the money behind Choppa City Records for BG. So when BG got locked up, he wasn't with Baby. He wasn't with Cash Money. He had been ostracized and pushed out of Cash Money. BG was Choppa City Records when he left the street. And so that's why you always, when you hear about BG's connection to Detroit, his connection to Detroit was through his Aunt Carol and was through Big Red Garrett. That's where the connection came from. She was the person, I bring her up in most interviews I do when people really get into who DawgFace is in terms of my musical development or my managerial development, because she's the person who I mentored behind. Carol Dorsey taught me how to be a shark. She taught me how to go get the money. She taught me that if it wasn't no money involved, you don't get involved. So Carol Dorsey was the person who I mentored under. And she's really the person who I kind of like, I mimicked her style. Because even though she a woman, Carol Dorsey a motherfucking gangster. You hear me? So I mimicked her style, especially when it came to getting to the bread, bro. If it ain't about the bread, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about a motherfucking thing. I jumped into the music business. And right after I jumped into the music, the behind the scenes aspects of the music business, I jumped right into internet radio in 2010. And then in 2011 is when I first started podcasting. I'd like to say I'm at the forefront of podcasting in this country. And I can verify it because in 2011, the term of the word podcast wasn't even part of the urban vernacular, bro. It wasn't even part of just the entertainment vernacular. Nobody knew what the podcast was in 2010, 11, 12, right? Didn't really get acquainted with the word podcast until 14, 15, maybe 2016. I was doing podcasts in 2011 and 12. And when I say that, I mean I was in a radio room style setup. I was talking about, I was interviewing the who's who from across the country, not just Detroit. In 2010, 11, 12, you had Love and Hip Hop. So every Love and Hip Hop star that came to Detroit, I interviewed them. NDRE came to Detroit, I interviewed her. Pretty Ricky, when they would come to Detroit, I interviewed them. This is long before anybody knew what a podcast was. And when I say podcast, I was in a radio room style setting. I was interviewing the who's who, from local celebrities to national celebrities who came to Detroit. And I was talking about current events, hot topics, not just about what was going on in Detroit, but what was going on across the country. And I filmed it and uploaded it to YouTube. And I was doing that in 2011 and 2012. When you talk about the Icewear Vezos of the world, right? The first time Icewear Vezo ever, I think Vezo was like one of the first rappers to ever be on the podcast ever. When I say ever, I don't just mean in Detroit, I mean ever. Because there was no Joe Buttons, there was no Revolt, there was none of that prior to me launching podcasting. And I didn't know it at the time, of course, but when you look back at it, you look at my old podcast, it is what it is. And I refer to it as a podcast as well. It was called Unleashed, and then I rebranded it and relaunched Unleashed Reloaded.
Man. So you spoke on being locked up, man. What was you locked up for, and what was the case? Can you break that down?
All right. I started getting locked up at 12. Which one? Take your pick. I'm a robber.
The last joint, man.
Bro, the last joint, like the first joint, is robbery, my nigga. I'm a robber. I'm an armed robber by trade, you hear me? My specialty, I'm a jack boy. I'm an armed robber, you feel what I'm saying? So, used to be, I'm retired now because I'm in a better space in life, so I ain't got to do all that. But robbery was my specialty, bro. It was what I was best at. It was what I was most successful at. I sold drugs over the course of my criminal career, but I was more proficient when it comes to robbing the motherfucker, bro. And I ain't had time to stand on no corner, sitting in no motherfucking house selling no motherfucking dope. My whole philosophy was, you make it, I take it. Why in the fuck would I ever sit out somewhere and be standing out in the hot ass sun, the cold ass snow, selling some motherfucking dope, when I can just take the money from you? I can let you do all the hard work, and I come along and take it from your. That's what I specialized in. So that's what I was into. It just didn't make no sense to me be sitting out selling no motherfucking dope all day, where I can just let you sell it and just take your shit. That's selling dope didn't make no sense to me. You hear me? Yeah, so my whole career was armed robbery. I went to prison for armed robbery. I got locked up for the first time. I was 12 years old. 1984 was robbery. I went to prison. 15 years later, robbery. You hear me? I'm a robber. And I was in prison robbing and up and taking that shit to prison too.
How much time did you do?
I did 17 calendar years. I did 16 years, 9 months, 29 days, 4 hours, 38 minutes. In the MDOC, in the Michigan Department of Correction, straight. I not get out and go back, get out and go back. I went one time, I came out, and I haven't went back, and I ain't going back.
How did prison change you?
Bro, I think it changed me. I would say I think it changed me like it changed everybody else, but not everybody here has the same experience. You got some people like who go to prison, go to jail, and they be getting their ass whooped, right? You got some who go up in there, they become victims, you hear me? I went in that motherfucker and I was doing the same shit I was doing on the streets, thugging. I became a member of the Nation of Islam while I was in prison.